The internet's a tricky thing, man.
Yeah.
All right, let me start posting the link.
Okay.
All right, let me start posting the link.
Weird how sometimes this camera with different programs it shows it different. It's freaking weird. Yeah, good enough. Check. Mike. Check.
I got
check.
2 more places to post it, and then we can start going live.
Mike. Check.
I got 2 more places to post it, and then we can start. I have to pause that YouTube because I kept hearing myself echoing.
Yep.
The other trick when you're doing this is to plug in directly to your modem. It'll lessen any type of latency. Okay. I'll make a post. All right, so the post is on the fan page. And then lastly, I'm doing it on Instagram, and then we should be good to go. Doctor Strange 2 review live.
The green screen. So
Yeah, I'll turn that on.
okay, just making sure you're good.
I will turn that on in time. Link. All right, posting it on Instagram, Freddie, so you could post it as well. Put the link there. Tag you in it. To whoever might want to watch it. Okay. All right, let's change this background and we can start whenever you guys are ready. All right, guys, we're in there. Let me move Freddie. Put him in the corner so he can feel special. Put him in the corner where he deserves to be.
I think you look good in the middle with us all symmetrical, you know?
Okay, I can put him in the middle. Is he gonna block Doctor Strange? That's fine though.
Fuck Doctor Strange. He's okay.
He had his time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, nice and even. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, nice. There we go. He's like he's summoning me. There we go.
Lights right. All right, Casey, about to hit record, and we will start this bad boy. Record to. Let's go.
Hey. It's popping. It's happening, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Back and Out podcast. Me, K to the C, and my cuz Akil, 2 intelligent brothers, pelting from the hips, pelting from the waist, giving you an extravaganza of a podcast. Join us as we discuss nerd culture while adding our Trinidadian Canadian spin on it. It's blurred news like you never heard before. I had to switch it up a little bit, man. You know? How you doing, cuz?
I like that.
You got a special guest?
Yeah, strong.
We got the Dominican sensation, Freddie Veloz.
What up?
What's popping, man? What's happening?
Man, I'm honored to be on the Back and All podcast, bro. I've been waiting for this day, patiently.
Honored to have you. Honored to have
you. Been pacing around the house just waiting for this day.
I was nervous as hell watching this movie. I'm like, I got to get everything in I can.
So you do comedy?
Yeah, stand up.
That's
Been doing it. Started in 2017. Yeah.
Nice. What sparked in your head to make you say, "Fuck this shit. I could do this shit. I could do comedy."
I was depressed and I was listening to this Bill Burr podcast and yeah, somebody asked him how you do it. He said just write 5 minutes and hit an open mic. And until then, I thought you had to like know somebody or whatever. So I was like, shit. I was like, I've been told I'm my whole life that I'm funny. I was like, let me go see what's up. And I went and did it. I got enough laughs to be like, oh, I kind of want to keep doing this. And the way my girl looked at me afterwards, I'd never really seen her look at me like that. And she was like, I'm curious to see how far, like where you take this. And right there, I was like, I might have something here. And it wasn't until about 2 years in where I was like, yo, I want to do this shit like for a living type stuff. So that's what I've been working on now. Got a podcast, got a Patreon, and doing stand-up.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Folks know where they can reach you, sir.
Yeah, on Instagram, Freddie Valoy, just first and last name. And then if you want to see my exclusive content, $5 a month, is on patreon.com/Freddie Valoy. Okay,
you ain't showing no nipples, is you?
You pay me enough, dude. I'll show a nip.
Oh shit!
Feet might be the new thing, though. I don't know. A lot of people are doing the feet, yeah. So hey,
you don't want to see these things, bro. They're gonna charge me if I show them my feet.
Before we start the podcast, let's have a moment of silence for the toxic king, Kevin Samuel, who died on top. He was balls deep and died as he arrived. He died pleasing a woman. This one's for you, Kev. I don't have a lighter, but I have a phone, so this one's for you, Kev. You have any thoughts for Kev?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was out here. I think he was necessary in the ecosystem. You know,
He sparked some conversations that need to be had, man.
Exactly.
My favorite moment was when the guy called in and he said, "Do you have a big dick, sir?" And he's like, "What you mean by that? I don't know what you mean." He said, "Sir," it's a pretty plain question. Is your dick big or not? He kept talking in circles. You need to get to the point. That's the thing. And Kevin was one of the people that went straight to the point.
Yeah.
Like him or love him. He was a polarizing figure.
Yeah.
And with polarizing people, you got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, he definitely shook up the podcasting industry. People were calling into him. That's what the cuts that we saw, they didn't say. He wasn't calling women harassing them. They were calling him to get information on seeing things from other angles. So yeah, while some of the things he was saying could offend a lot, it's thought-provoking what he was doing. So yeah.
Y'all think he was on Viagra? You think it was that devil blue pill that took him out?
We'll find out soon. He maybe was mixing up the pills, you know what I mean? Mixing it all up, cocktailing it. Who knows?
But how you balls deep in the nurse and then you died? She tried to resuscitate you, but she didn't resuscitate you well. Is her job in jeopardy now because she couldn't resuscitate him?
She was probably just a CNA. She was like a low-level nurse. Like,
well, we find out she's an ICU nurse now. Like, could I look at her the same?
What if she was covertly there to fucking do this?
I was thinking
what if she was sent by the women collection that we don't know about, the women Illuminati? You know what I mean? They're like, all right, we can't take this guy out in public. We got to get him somewhere else. What they do to Bruce Lee? Oh, okay, something like that. Yeah, let's get this nigga. You know,
the long con.
Yeah. Who knows? We're going to find out soon enough. The news that came out about this was shaky too. People were posting it before time. And I was like, this feels like Twitter right now where people are posting like this person died and nobody even has like any information on it. So that had me feeling away.
I love the black response on Instagram. Those people being on this post saying, "Nigga, you alive?" And it had like a million likes just waiting to see if he will respond. And I love my people.
There's people celebrating his death too, which I find crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I saw women on there like, All right, then. What?
They got rappers out here
Thursday.
that do worse than Kevin Samuels. They'll tell you to kill your neighbor, like shoot that nigga that looked at you funny. and when they die, you're all crying and putting them on your damn shirt. Kev just gave some advice, man. Like it or love it. He wouldn't tell you to kill nobody out here in these streets.
He was trying to keep that old school man energy. That's all he was trying to do out here. That's all he was really trying to do.
Just let us make America great again. Keep our value high. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. At first time I heard him, I didn't like him because I heard a little short of it, and I was like, "Yo, this guy's just bringing down this woman for what? Who the hell is this guy?" And his marketing scheme worked because it made me actually put in the work and research and listen to his stuff. I was like, "Okay, I get it now." Because at first it was like, "Yo, you're too old. You think you're gonna meet a man at 40 years old looking like that?" I was like, "Yo, who is this guy? Where's he just bringing down this woman?" But after I looked into him, I'm like, okay, I see what's up with him.
You're volunteering. It's like going to a comedy roast. It's like the roast of you. You're calling in for his advice. It's not like he's just giving it to you without you asking for it. You called in.
Mm-hmm. And he's giving it to everybody. He was giving the real to like the whole, not, some would say the real, some wouldn't, but he was giving it to men and women equally. Like it wasn't just like,
nah, just women. He's a misogynist, Casey. So he's trying to massage that woman's ovaries with his penis and died. Ain't that something? He died pleasing her. Now, Freddie, I got a question for you. With the Chris Rock slap, and then recently we had the Dave Chappelle attack. Every comedian I know, including you, seems to be doing martial arts. Is that a thing? Like every comedian's doing some type of martial arts now? Like
I think now they're at least thinking about it. I grew up wrestling. And then I wrestled I was a D1 wrestler. I was like third string, but I was still D1. And then I did cage fighting for like 3 years. So I'm good. Like when I started stand up, I saw videos of people in the crowd punching comedians. And from that, like I'm talking about week 1 of doing comedy. I was already like visualizing strategy on how I'm gonna take people out, bro. Like there's hell no. That Will Smith shit would not have happened. And then the other dude that was clear. He was charging him. Like that's an easy, just you could toss somebody. They're throwing all their weight at you. But yeah, I think everybody should have some sort of self-defense strategy. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, something like that. It just makes you feel better.
Yeah. Dave had a little move on him though. He gave a nice little hip turn, he kind of moved the guy a good way. He should have never been in that situation. I was so unfortunate. I was like, yo, this is one of the goats. Like he could have been taken out for real right there.
Yeah, the guy had looked like a makeshift gun that he used a 3D printer.
How do you get that in there?
Well, where'd he hide it? Like he put up his butthole? Like you get patted down. So I don't know where he put it. Was it a booty hole bullet?
I don't know.
You could
was
tape
the
it
bullet made out of what was that, Fred?
You could probably tape it into between the butt cheeks like a low profile gun.
Ah, I got you, man. But then there's a blade sticking out, so he had the blade between his butthole. That's a risky situation, man. So if he had a wet fart, it's getting sliced and diced.
Oh, bro, that means you could shoot somebody and give him like sepsis as well. If there's doo-doo on the bullet, that's a double because you open him up, it's gonna get doo-doo in the cut, and then they can get infected. That's some
medieval shit right there.
That was his plan.
On the sword type shit. That's kill him in a couple weeks.
Matter in your body, Dave. He was ready.
Yo, they twisted him up. He was like that in the picture.
Yeah, he looked like a Mr. Potato Head from an abusive child. Like, abusive child just twists up the toy and puts the eyes where the mouth's supposed to be. That's how the guy looked after him. The arm up and shit. I was like, damn, man.
Well, picture that ass whipping, though. You're getting beat up and you look up and you're like, oh shit, nigga, is that Jamie Foxx? And then his foot starts stomping you. And then you roll over, then you see Busta Rhymes stomping you. That's a 90s beatdown.
I honestly want them to do a skit of this where they just put the camera on the floor and they're just like Dave Chappelle's like, ha, nigga, ha, how do you like that? Like you see them like kicking the camera down and like you see Chris Rock come in like, hey, hold on, let me get a kick in there. Like Jamie Foxx is like, what's going on here? Oh my God, y'all like, like all of them just surrounding. They can make like a full hilarious skit out of this. You know what I mean?
How old?
I made this day, but because you're looking at movie. Because you're seeing your favorite celebs, and then they start stomping the shit out of you.
Tweety birds and celebrities. That's it. Stars. Literally. He was in the multiverse of madness right there.
Yes, let's get into it. So, all right, folks, we're all here for a Doctor Strange review. We're gonna do a spoiler-free review, and I think we'll cut the recording after that, and then we'll start doing the our spoiler talk off live.
But before we get into it, let me let you know where you can find us. Instagram, Twitter, _Bacchanal. We're on fucking Google. Email us, thebacchanalsquad@gmail.com. Facebook. Oh my God, you people are so fucking funny. I can't keep up. I'm like looking at the chat like, holy shit, these guys are they should make their own podcast. Like, these guys are hilarious. Some of them. The Bacchanal Podcast fan page. That's where it's like, it's just popping off. These people are hilarious. We're like, who are these people? So join that group. Join our group. Be a part of the conversation.
Oh, quick commercial break. This episode sponsored by Hemp Source, Winston-Salem. I know y'all niggas is getting old. Rub that knee with some CBD. Okay? Your eyes hurting, get some CBD. Your dog acting a fool, we got pet treats. You trying to see Doctor Strange, you want to be in the multiverse with him? We got edibles. Use promo code THEBACCHANAL, save 15%, 15 off your purchase, not 50. I
was about to say, is that coming out of your pocket or mine? We got you on the 15.
Yo, gummies as low as you can get a big assortment for $21.25 and then take that 15% off. We got Delta 8 chocolate. Have you thinking you are Doctor Strange if you take that shit. Medallion and all. So yes, use promo code Bacchanal now. Save you 15% off. Tell them Akil sent you. All right, let's do this review, y'all. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I'm not going to show a trailer because YouTube, y'all be tripping and taking my shit down. So we're not going to do that. We'll just jump in to this discussion on the film. Let me start. This is a movie about child abuse. That's what I got from this movie. It's about child abuse. Fuck them kids. Fuck your kids. Her kids. Whoever's kids. If there's a kid involved, I'm trying to kill him. I also noticed that Doctor Strange has a soft spot for teenagers. If you're a grown-ass man in need, he don't care. But if you a teenager, he'll think about it. He'll clear up that calendar. He cleared up that calendar for Peter. Cleared up that calendar for what's her name? Old America Chavez. He didn't clear that calendar up for Bucky. Bucky and them caught hell. He didn't clear that calendar up for Wanda. Right down the street, an hour down the road in New Jersey. At Westview, had a whole town under control for a month. He ain't clear up no calendar for that shit. Let a teenager come to his house. Then he'll clear that calendar. So it makes me wonder, are kids safe around Doctor Strange? This man doing magic and bending over backwards for children. If it was Michael Jackson, he would have been investigated. But since he is a white man with a cloak, it's all good. He's a white man with a cloak and a PhD, so we trust him. But what trickery is he really doing, Casey?
You know, once we saw him with that dirty cloak.
I saw that cloak was dirty.
Should have known something was up with that Strange dude.
Why his hands all crazy? Why he got the crazy hands? Why is he always with teenage kids? That's why Wong ain't fucking with him like that. This nigga weird. That's what Wong said. Wong said, look, I'm about to do carry. Well, first of all, let's talk about the growth of Wong. He went from barely knowing a Beyonce reference to growing some sweet facial hair. He's doing karaoke with Shang-Chi. He cage fighting on the side, and he got promoted to Sorcerer Supreme. So let's give it up to Wong, moving up in life in this 5 years, man.
Hey,
Make the best in those 5 years.
He might need his own show, I think, honestly.
I want to see what Wong was doing in the 5 years.
Yeah, I wanted to see him do some cage matching, you know?
This is Phase Wong for me. Throw Wong in every throw Wong in every movie from now on.
Yeah, man.
That's the heart and soul.
Show. Yeah.
Freddie, what are your thoughts, sir? Let's talk about
it. The movie met my expectations. I had low expectations, but this was the movie of this phase that I was most excited for. I thought the CG was a little weird at times. But overall, I did really like the movie, and I thought Wanda was a bad bitch. I mean, I think they I think they achieved their goal with the horror aspect. As it seemed like corporate horror, like that's as far as Disney could go. But so knowing their limitations on gore and things like that, I feel like they hit the mark on that. And I like the theme of it. You know, it was kind of like that me versus me type thing throughout the movie, which I like. So I definitely think it's worth a watch for sure.
Ace.
Yeah, this was a high quality, good movie. It wasn't you should definitely see it in theaters, but it wasn't the epic that I thought it would be, but it felt more like a episodic. You know what I mean? So like, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. You know, the 3D, the camera tricks are awesome. The lighting was pretty dope. It was literally like Sam Raimi was creating a multiverse of madness, which I could understand some people might not have been able to follow that because it wasn't a thematic. It only had one linear thematic thing in it, but it was going so all over the place with different things. It was like a whole jazz rhythm that they were doing throughout the movie. So like the horror, like it felt like he took from everything that he's done before, like Spider-Man trilogy, Army of Darkness. Like, you know, like he took all those little tricks with the camera, like moving in like they're battling. You know what I mean? It had really, really cool things, really cool 3D, like looking in the glass and you're seeing waves of water. Like, it's like, am I seeing that right there? And like the tricks they did in this were phenomenal. I would definitely say watch this in theater. Do I need to see it again? Maybe not in the theater. I would probably wait and watch this at home. This is not that good of a movie to me where I need to see it again in theater though. But it was a very good movie.
I watched the enhanced version, if you know what I mean. So
yeah,
I was in there. I was in there with Strange Wanda. There were moments where I did get tired. There's some quiet moments in the film. One of the overarching themes in the film is "Are you happy?" They constantly ask Doctor Strange, "Are you happy?" To the point where I had to ask myself, "Am I happy watching this movie?" What the fuck is going on here? So I had me self-reflecting as I'm watching it. America Chavez. I thought she was good for what you get with the character. It's one of those things where they're developing and you're seeing the character develop throughout the show. Yeah. I am upset that they didn't get an Afro Latina. They got the most light-skinned Latina they could find. No speck of black in that woman. I don't even know how to say her name. Let's pull up her name.
Yeah, say that first name for me.
Xylophone.
That theology.
How you say that? How you say that, Fred? You're Hispanic.
I was scared when I
What's
saw
her name? Sochi.
Xochitl.
Sochi.
Look, man, that looked like a prescription drug.
Yeah.
You know?
Ask your doctor about Sochi today.
Yeah, I saw that name. I was like,
from my throat. So yeah, I thought she did a good job, but they could have went to the Bronx and got an Afro Latino. Come on, man. They could have kidnapped one. There's plenty of them. They could have grabbed one. They got the light. It's like Marvel has a brown paper bag test. Like they put it, they're like, it's too dark. Let's go ahead. Let's start again. Let's start from scratch. Like they found the lightest Afro Latino. I don't even think she's Afro Latino. I think she's
yeah. And girls from the Bronx love to be flued out too. So if he would have pulled up and like,
come on, Kevin Feige. Yeah,
he could have got that easy.
Come on, they offered me $5,000, y'all. I'm gonna be in the movie. $5K.
What you mean I can't put this on Instagram? This is why I'm here.
So it should have been Cardi's sister Hennessy. It should have been Cardi's sister Hennessy playing the role then, you're saying?
Yeah, it looks like her. Have you seen her in the comics?
Yeah, I've seen her. That's what I'm saying. That.
Like, I'm going to pull her up
and just a little bit. When Freddie said the Bronx, that reminded me.
I don't know where they found this young lady, but she's not Afro-Latina.
I thought she did a great job with the acting. I feel like the writing for her didn't do a great job for the character. It was, for a movie called Multiverse of Madness, was kind of one-dimensional and didn't show enough for me to get like feel bad for her. Like, you know what I mean? I was just like, okay, you're doing something, like, and you're doing it for what? I don't know.
They tried to have like a moment within like 2 seconds, like, oh, she has a family, but I still didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't get the opportunity from the writing. She did a great job though. I think she hit what she needed to hit.
Oh, my bad. Here you go. Let me show you all this picture right here. Yeah. Come on, man. I don't look nothing like her, man.
Oh, they could have definitely got a Puerto Rican girl or Dominican. Afro Latina. Yeah, they definitely
don't look nothing like her. The homegirl look Asian. That's why
she
her name's
definitely
Xylophone.
Filipino. Yup.
Come on, I seen her in the Bronx yesterday. Okay, I seen her yesterday. I don't know who that is. She don't have no Afro Latin. I don't even get no New York swag from her. Marvel and their brown paper bag test, man. Blade gonna be light skinned. We got Mahershala Ali for one film. We don't know what's next. We might have Terrence Howard for the sequel. I'm Blade, man. It's Blade, hey, man.
Hey, Blade, man.
She still did a good, fantastic job as an actor, though. It's not her fault.
This is what she did. Director. Mouth open. Oh my god. Just mouth open, man. I thought I was about to watch a porn. Mouth open, all film. So I didn't really get much from her.
I'm glad you said that at points you felt tired, because I felt the same thing, and I was feeling almost guilty. I'm like, I feel like this is better, but I felt the same thing. There was moments where I was kind of like, oh shit, I kind of zoned out.
This was a 2 hour and 6 minute movie, so that's why. But the pace that it moved at was pretty quick, so it did have one or two lull areas for me personally. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I fell asleep during the third act, which I should have been awake because that's supposed to be the climactic fight. Mm-hmm. Your boy was dozing. Had to watch a YouTube video to catch me up on what happened. So that was my experience with the film. My thing is, for a lot of people, I think they need to lower their expectations, because you literally only see about 2 universes. You ain't going all over the place. They kept it pretty grounded. I know people have their own theories. Captain Planet gonna show up, all types of wild shit. Just lower that. Let's lower it. Let's keep it realistic. Marvel pretty much spoiled the movie in the trailer. So if you watch the trailer, go off that. Don't go too crazy. Don't, because you're gonna be disappointed like WandaVision. Don't go in there talking about some Mephisto. Okay? That ain't what they do. And they have a set plan of what they're trying to do. And I feel like within those limitations, they accomplish that. I think people need to put their fan theories aside and enjoy the film that was given.
I agree. Yeah.
Yep.
This movie made me not want to watch the trailers for comic book movies anymore. I was like, yo, I'm done. I'm done. Stop showing me this. You got my money already.
Yeah, I stopped that after Age of Ultron, and it makes for a better movie experience. And I caught one of the, there was something I randomly caught a Doctor Strange 2 trailer, and I saw something that I was like, fuck, I would have liked to have just been surprised by that in the movie. Like but they put it up front, I guess, because people's attention spans, they're trying to get them into the actual theater, I guess. But yeah, it's bullshit. Real
talk, they shouldn't have showed Wanda. They shouldn't even showed America Chavez. They could have just showed Doctor Strange fighting that tentacle creature, CG, America out that scene. That's it. Don't show me shit. If I came in blind, with them not even alluding to Illuminati scene like they do in the trailer, I would have had a better experience. I would be like, oh shit, I know Wanda's in this movie. Oh, I know they're doing all of this.
Yep.
Like for like the upcoming Blade movie, he'll show me shit. Show me a sword and the nigga picking it up. That's all I need to see.
Yep.
Nigga touching a sword and looking at me. I don't even need to see a vampire. I know the deal. I know what he's about. And if I don't, there's a thing called Google. I'll Google the shit. That's the problem with this generation. They got to promote stuff like they did Super 8. I didn't know nothing about that movie, and they kept it vague until the day, even after the movie release, they kept it vague, and that intrigued people into running in to seeing that movie in theaters. And Marvel, they already got us, by the chokehold. They don't need to spoon feed us all these trailers. Just show me as little as possible. I'm down.
And this is the perfect movie for a vague trailer. Right? They could have just showed, like you said, those scenes and then some other scenes of like some weird magic being used and make it, eerie. And because everybody knew it was horror, nobody knew really what to expect. So this would have been the perfect movie to do that.
Don't show nothing. What you think, Casey?
Yeah, no, I think the trailer after Spider-Man was good enough. I was good with that. Just showing the world bent up and him just looking at curiosity of different things happening. That did the trick. I think they need to evolve their style of marketing and use, instead of showing us stuff, just talk about the character and the look and the fabrics they use and do things like that. Talk about that they're using 3D and, market the the people who are creating all these things instead of just showing us these scenes. Because when we see these small little tidbits, the internet goes aflame with it. They're like, oh my God, he's wearing this thingy that was from this comic. And they break it all down. They're like, you know who was in that comic? This guy. And then you're like, oh shit, that guy. You know what I mean? So it's like, it creates this ball of confusion and madness. Instead, let's talk about like, okay, he's in the trailer, interview the actors and let them discuss their feelings on where the characters are going, and talk about the people who are creating the world and showing what part of the country they're in and different things like that. Don't talk about the story or show characters though.
Or this is another thing they could do. I was thinking for marketing, they could create checklists for us, like have a vague trailer and then say, hey, make sure you check out Doctor Strange 1 and watch WandaVision and watch What If. Just give us a checklist of what we need to watch and give us a vague trailer. That way we come up with our own theories and then we go watch a movie we basically know nothing about.
Yeah, let us be blind.
We can pull from that checklist like, oh, they're referring to this.
Yeah.
Because they took give us homework, Marvel. We're nerds, okay? Give us homework. We want that shit.
Yeah. Just more marketing. Switch the marketing scheme. Evolve it now, because you already got us in the chokehold. We're watching a soap opera basically, and you guys are like 32, 40 movies in plus shows. You know what I mean? So it's like, if we keep seeing the same formula over and over again, we're going to be like, oh my God. But if you guys have us and you could do this, just discuss things like, oh, this character, you know, like this is what they're wearing. This is what we're filming. This is the actor, you know, talk about those things in Disney Plus or on YouTube, not the characters that are going to be in it, not the storyline. Cause that takes away from it a lot. You guys understand what I'm saying? Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how did you guys feel about Doctor Strange in this film? Is he still an arrogant asshole? Did he grow as a person? Like, what do you guys think?
You want to go first, Ready? Or you want
me? No, you can go ahead.
Okay, yeah. No, I felt like the writing was so old school in this movie. Like the jokes, the badass lines, they felt so old. And his character, it does have development, but it wasn't told so clearly that it didn't feel like he took a leap and bound. It felt just like, you know, an episode of, Seinfeld or something. Like he was like, okay, well, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, okay. Like, it didn't feel like, holy, okay. All right, he's old. But we'll get into that in spoilers more and more.
You don't feel like he evolved as a character in the film?
No, I do. But it just wasn't good enough in the writing for me. I feel like his character was great, but it was more feeling like I was watching Sam Raimi like do his thing, and I was watching Doctor Strange and Benedict. Benedict did an amazing job acting, but it's just like he I don't want to spoil.
Like, okay, so I guess, did you see some Spider-Man 3 isms? I guess like what they tried to do with Peter Parker and.
I did, yeah. I saw some. Okay, I saw Spider-Man things from Sam Raimi, his directing style, of course. Even the introduction of Doctor Strange, that was straight out of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I didn't think the character development was like enough. I would say you saw a little something at the end, but yeah, I don't think it was anything crazy. Like, now that you asked me, I was thinking, I'm like, it wasn't until, you know, the very end. I don't want to give spoilers right now, but he's strange. He has his rules, and I want to see how, if they do develop him more in the next movie or whatever, how that's going to look. Cause he has his rule about the multitude of the multiverse and protecting that and all, you know, and you see a little bit of that in there, but yeah, it wasn't quite enough. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. Cause even with, like, he's been demoted, he's not so Sorcerer Supreme, but he's still doing whatever the hell he wants. He's still acting like a Sorcerer Supreme. He's that arrogant that, even like, let's say Wong was to tell him not to do something, he's still gonna do it. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like he's really changed in these films. He's not rocking the dope yellow gloves either, man. I was kind of worried. I was like, where the gloves at?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Let's put a pin in that till spoilers, though. What you just said, for sure. I want to dig in.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, what else can we talk about briefly?
What do you guys think of the jokes and the lines that they used in this movie? Because I felt they were mid. That was a big problem for me. That took a knock for me.
Yep.
Nothing like,
agreed.
You know, like Thor and Guardians. Those are funny movies. Like, you feel like you're laughing. Everything's good. This one was just like, the lines felt like they were like from like early 90s. Get off my plane. You know, like they weren't like modern day badass lines. They were just like, all right, really? You say that now? Like
that's Sam Raimi though. He's stuck in the 90s, like them old ass boomer jokes, man.
Yeah,
I don't expect much jokes from like a character whose catchphrase is "by Hoggath." Like that. I mean, there's just not a lot of funny from a motherfucker that says "by Hoggath." But the acting, it threw me off as well. Some of the posing, and if it reminded me of those earlier superhero movies where you're like, that's a little corny. Like they took a couple steps back into the corniness a little bit, which took me out of the movie, and that was a little annoying for me.
Yeah, there were times when I was watching this, and I was like, if I would have seen part one after this one, I would have thought part one was like further gone than this.
Yeah, part one's better. I can say that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like part one's way better. I just watched that the other day in preparation for this one. I was like, holy crap, this movie's good. You know what I mean? This one, it felt like Sam Raimi saw that scene, a couple scenes from part one. He said, okay, touche, I like that. And he did it in this. And when it happened, I was like, oh damn, he just did that. I guess he did that, but
that's Sam Raimi.
He did it his way. You know what I mean? So I was like,
he's a B movie horror kind of guy. So like some of the CG looks like B movie, and then the jokes are like B movies. And some people love it. Some people are like me, and they're just like, I'm not crazy about the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. Like they're nostalgic, but I don't look on them fondly. I'm like, oh, Toby. No, I don't. For me personally, no. Like,
yeah, they were good for the time for sure. Part two
is still up there. Still corny to me.
Yeah, part two is still up there for one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. The trilogy as a whole, yeah, it was cool. It was great for the time. It was amazing that they even pulled off a Spider-Man movie like that back then. You know, we had X-Men, and that was nothing to be like. That was like, damn, at least we're seeing this on the big screen. You know what I mean? It was like that level. You know?
Yeah.
How was the theater experience for you guys? Like anybody like clapping, any jump scares, anything like that?
Definite jump scares. And then there was the one scene, we'll talk in the spoilers, there was some clapping. So you had that. If they didn't give up something in the damn trailer, they would have got a louder clap reaction, I think, in the theater, and it could have made up for some of those lulls. Like you could have maybe forgotten about the lulls.
I agree completely with that. But yeah, the crowd was there. The crowd was connected. The theater was getting their guap because I walked by how many theaters and I saw Doctor Strange. Like, you know, the doors. So the energy was there. People had a cape on, you know, man's had blue and shit on. Like people were dressing up for this shit.
I got my shirt on right now.
Yeah, I even threw on my sweater, my Avengers sweater that I got, you know, with all the different people on there, all inked in, like, you know. But no, the energy was good. You could tell it was a lot of fans of the comics, and they weren't catching the jokes, but they were.
Yeah, I didn't hear anybody laugh at the joke in my theater.
Yeah, but the reactions for things, they were getting involved in that, you know.
That's good. My theater was dry, like some old pussy, man. Just dry and weathered. No type of applause, not even a queef. My theater is dry as fuck, man. I was just like, y'all ain't seeing the same shit I'm seeing. I'm like clapping. So I was like, this is dope. And people around me are just like, I guess they're just trying to not get lost, pretty much for the common viewer or the general audience. I feel like they're so laser focused, not trying to get lost.
Should have went to Greensboro, not Raleigh.
No, I saw it in Burlington. I should have went to the hood though, man.
Greensboro, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Pick up some Bojangles, you know, just hit up the theater like, hey, baby, I'm up in here, baby.
Also, the rest of the audience wasn't enhanced like you were probably too. So you was in the multiverse.
I will say, there's a multiverse travel scene that's done very well. A good artistic view of traveling. I thought that was dope, and watching that enhanced was pretty good too. There was just one scene though that's memorable. Like the rest of it's just like it's going at breakneck speed. Like we got to get to the finish line.
Yeah, and that's the problem I have. That's the problem. That's one of the problems I have. When you do that, it doesn't leave space for you to live with the characters for a bit. You know, like to actually feel a ways for the characters because it's moving so quick. You just get a quick little this, and it's like, oh, what? Oh, something else is happening. You never get the characters' reactions for some huge moments in this movie.
They're like, we gotta go.
Like, okay, next. okay, next. And it's like, yo, do you see what just happened to this person? You know, like you don't really, the characters didn't give that reaction that I wanted to see, you know? So that disappointed me a lot. It felt like it was getting kind of cheap with things, you know, but we'll get.
I think it needed 20 more minutes to breathe because I felt like, I don't know, the low moments were low and then the breakneck speed made it hard to process things. Like it wasn't until I got out the theater, I was able to process the ending of the movie because I couldn't process it at the moment.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm paying attention to all this madness.
Which was on theme though. There was something I wish he put more on theme as a director. I appreciate that he's doing his tricks and leaps and bounds as a director, doing the things that he took from old movies. But I wish that he actually, like, if they go to another universe, he uses like a whole different camera. You know what I mean? Like when you see it, he's like, oh shit, this is like standard. This looks like an old Western movie, like the camera they use, or like standard television. Then it goes to 4K. It's like, oh shit, you know, like something to really give you that immersed look, like
WandaVision. They did that every episode. They changed
exactly.
Aesthetic.
Like I wish they brought that in this, but to the big screen. You know, they did it with TV shows and that was great. But if they did that with movies in this, that would have been like something that knocked people out of the park. Like film, he uses a little bit of film. You know what I mean? Like something different, and then goes digital instead of just depending on 3D to show things. You know?
Do you feel like Sam Raimi was the right director for this film?
Well, you know, like I think he did a good job. There were things that I saw in here I don't think people caught that. I feel like as a director, he was like bending knee to Disney, kind of like paying homage to Disney in a slick way. But I think he was good. I thought he was good. I heard it was another director and then that guy got cut and then they brought Sam Raimi in halfway through. So he did an amazing job. And I couldn't tell that it was a whole different switch up of directors. That's a big change.
I have a controversial take. I would have went with James Wan. James Wan that did the Insidious series. He did some of the Fast and Furious movies. He recently quit Fast and Furious 10 because of Vin Diesel. He got tired of Vin's shit.
Maybe his schedule was full.
I felt like he would have did a better job with the handling of jokes, because his jokes, say what you want about the Fast and Furious movies, you leave with a smile on your face. You leave with a smile, even with how ridiculous as the movie is. Was that?
He did Aquaman, right?
Yeah, he did Aquaman. Okay, you left that movie as ridiculous as that movie is. You leave with a smile on your face.
Yeah,
and all the CG is done well. So I felt like he would have been able to blend the horror and comedy, and probably gave us better cinematography.
But you know, like when I think about the ending part of this movie, that is such a Sam Raimi thing. When it comes together, it's like, holy shit, it's actually great. You know, like on first watch, this is a good movie, high positive good movie. But in thinking about it later, I'm like, that's actually pretty great what he did. So I think he did a fantastic job coming in when something's already halfway started. I think he did his thing. And I look at these directors as like comic book artists. So like we might get another Doctor Strange later with a whole nother director and it'll have a whole new look. And I'm not mad at that, because reading comics, I see Batman so many different ways, you know, drawn different. Wolverine done by Jim Lee looks ill. And you buy the next comic and there's a whole nother guy. You're like, man, this comic doesn't look as good as the last one. You know, I'm still reading the story though, but you know, it's not hitting like it did with Jim Lee doing it, you know. So I that's how I see it. I think he pulled it off. Kudos to him, man.
Yeah, and I did like how they resolved the conflict at the end. It wasn't the typical Marvel whatever. It was it made sense, and and it was something that I don't think we had seen yet within the MCU.
Yeah.
All right, wrapping this segment up, what would you guys rate this film? I'll let Casey go first. You can use a number, or you can use emotions, Casey, whatever you want to use.
Oh no, I give it a
high.
Made
me happy.
I give it like a 7.8, 7.9, 7.8, around there. Like I can't give it great, but it's like very close. But maybe if I watch it again, I'll appreciate it more. It's a lot to process in theater. So like coming out of it, I had to think about things. I'm like, oh, that was kind of dope. Oh, that was, you know, but like I give it a high 7.8. I enjoyed it, but it felt like an episode, not an epic. And it wasn't funny. It wasn't as funny as I wanted it to be, man.
No, yeah. Now that you guys are talking about the jokes, yeah, I remember on a couple of them just being like, ugh, like,
yeah, like get us in there, let us write this thing. Let us pop some shit in this movie, make it more modern. Like this thing was.
It almost made me a little anxious. And I'm like, are these comic book movies going back to this type of this weird ass?
No, the early 2000s shit.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I hope not. Like,
that's what it felt like.
But you guys say Sam Raimi stuck in the 90s. That actually makes me feel a little better. This is probably just, whatever. But I agree with you, Casey. They hit the mark. It's a, good movie. Definitely worth watching in theater. If you nitpick it though, you'll find some stuff.
Yeah.
I guess my turn. I give it a 7.5. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good, but not great. I don't think it lived up to the title, Multiverse of Madness. I felt like we saw some universes, and I think the time constraint held it back to 2 hours, and it moving at a breakneck speed hindered the movie at times. And then the slow moments were slow. But like you felt the 2 hours. Like it didn't go by fast for me. Like I felt the 2 hours to the point where I fell asleep during the third act. So that's why I gotta give it a 7.5. I gotta watch it again. Hopefully unenhanced viewing.
You got to go view it at 7.5 milligrams, not 70.5 milligrams, bro.
Don't you judge my lifestyle.
Doctor Strange.
I was like, wow, this is wild.
I will say that multiverse scene, I immediately was like, okay, I got to rewatch these on mushrooms. Because when I saw that scene, I was like, I got to do these again on mushrooms.
Hey man, I will not confirm or deny what I partake in, but
gotta have the third eye open,
I had the third eye open, baby, and I was ready. So 7.5 for me. This is going to conclude our live section because we're going into spoilers. Make sure you check us out at _Bacchanal. That's BACCHANAL. Send us an email anytime at thebacchanalsquad@gmail.com. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, our Facebook fan page, the Bacchanal fan page. Did I miss anything?
No, I just want to say shout out to the listeners. We got people all the way from Hungary, all over Canada, all over the United States, Samoa. We got people in Samoa messing with us.
Samoans listening? What the fuck?
Pago. 9 listens just the last day. Yeah, yesterday. Pago. Who are it? You know what I mean? I have to Google where that is. Shout out to you guys, man. More BS is our number one listened pod right now. The Batman spoilers and non-spoilers episodes are killing. So yeah, man, shout out to you guys, man. If you want to write the comments, say y'all don't know what you're talking about, or you hit the mark, whatever you want to say it in the comments on SoundCloud, or hit us up on all our platforms that we're on.
Yeah, but we're on every streaming network. So Spotify, Google Play, what's the other one? Apple, all that shit. Yeah. The Bacchanal. And make sure for your CBD needs, Hemp Source Winston-Salem, use that promo code. We getting old. I know your knees hurting, okay? You're trying to do that Meg the Stallion knee challenge, your knees popping, your back aching. Rub it down with some CBD. Take an edible and watch Doctor Strange. Have a good viewing. Take that Delta 8. Use my promo code. Get 15% off. All right, so that concludes this episode of the Bacchanal Podcast. I'm your host, Akil Witt.
A to the C, man.
And thank you, Freddie, for joining us.